The race session is at GT Autodrome Lago Maggiore. Brian MCC from Ireland is P1. Niall O'Neill entering the pits is 21st. Peter McKen from Ireland is 2nd. Simran Thakkar from Canada is P3. Sky from Poland is 4th. Shane Smith is P5. Noise from Italy is 6th. Ian May from England is 7th. John MacDonald from Ireland is P8. Daniel Maggiore from Ireland is P9. Brian MCC is P1. Simran Thakkar is 3rd. Shane Smith is 4th. Peter McKen is 5th. Peter McKen passed Shane Smith for P4. Shane Smith is 5th. Stefan Boot is P13. Simran Thakkar is P3. Simran Thakkar passed Sky for 2nd. Peter McKen is 4th, 0.5 behind Sky. Niall O'Neill is P11, 0.2 ahead of Damien McMullen. Stefan Boot is 13th, 0.3 behind Damien McMullen. Peter McKen is 4th, 0.2 behind Scott. Daniel Maggiore is 8th, 0.4 behind Ian May. Damien McMullen from Ireland is P11, 0.3 ahead of Stefan Boot. Damien McMullen lost P15 to Flea McBaggins. Damien McMullen is now P15. Kit Resick from United States is 15th, 0.5 behind Damien McMullen. Simran Thakkar is P2, 0.2 behind Brian MCC. Brian MCC is P2, 0.1 behind Simran Thakkar. Sky is P4, 0.4 behind Peter McCann. Noise is 6th, 0.4 behind Shane Smith. Brian MCC is 2nd. Noise is 6th, 0.3 ahead of Ian May. Sky is P4. Ian May is P7, 0.4 behind Noise. Shane Smith is 5th, 0.3 behind Scott. Ian May is 7th. Flea McBaggins from United States on lap 4 is P12, 0.3 behind Andy van Lerberg. Shane Smith is 5th, 0.5 behind Scott. Damian McMullen is P13, 0.4 behind Flea McBaggins. Felon Pritchard from Ireland is 16th, 0.5 behind Niall O'Neill. Damian McMullen is P13, 0.4 behind Flea McBaggins. Brian MCC on lap 5 is P2, 0.4 behind Simran Takhar. Felon Pritchard on lap 5 is P16, 0.3 behind Niall O'Neill. Brian MCC is P2, 0.5 behind Simran Takhar. Shane Smith is P5, 0.4 behind Scott. Brian MCC is P2, 0.3 behind Simran Takhar. Noise is P6, 0.3 behind Shane Smith. Brian MCC on lap 6 is 2nd, 0.4 behind Simran Takhar. Noise is 6th, 0.2 behind Shane Smith. Brian MCC on lap 7 is 2nd, 0.4 behind Simran Thakur. Kit Riesick on lap 7 is P14, 0.4 behind Andy van Leerburg. Kit Riesick passed Andy van Leerburg for 13th. Andy van Leerburg from Belgium is P14. Best lap is a 1:30.975. Brian MCC is P2, 0.3 behind Simran Thakur. Noise is P6, 0.4 behind Shane Smith. Stefan Boot is P13, 0.2 behind Kit Riesick. Stefan Boot passed Kit Riesick for P12. Kit Riesick is 13th, 0.3 behind Stefan Boot. Niall O'Neill is 15th, 0.4 behind Andy van Leerburg. Felon Pritchard is P17, 0.4 behind Daniel Maggiore. Simran Thakur is 2nd battling Peter McCann. Peter McCann is P3, 0.3 behind Simran Thakur. Niall O'Neill is P15, 0.4 behind Andy van Leerburg. Brian MCC is 2nd, 0.1 behind Simran Thakur. Brian MCC lost P2 to Peter McCann. Peter McCann is 3rd, 0.1 behind Brian MCC. Noise is 6th, 0.5 behind Shane Smith. Niall O'Neill is 15th, 0.1 behind Andy van Leerburg. Simran Thakur from Canada is 2nd, 0.1 behind Brian MCC. Simran Thakur passed Brian MCC for 1st. Brian MCC is 2nd, 0.1 ahead of Peter McCann. Peter McCann is P3, 0.2 behind Brian MCC. Niall O'Neill on lap 10 is P15, 0.5 behind Andy van Lerberg. Peter McKen is P3, 0.1 behind Brian MCC. Niall O'Neill is P15, 0.2 behind Andy van Lerberg. Peter McKen is P3. Shane Smith on lap 11 is 5th, 0.5 behind Sky. Felon Pritchard is 16th, 0.2 behind Flea McBaggins. Peter McKen is P3. Peter McKen passed Brian MCC for second. Andy van Lerberg is 17th. Peter McKen is P2. Brian MCC is 3rd, 0.4 behind Peter McKen. Stefan Boot is P12, 0.2 behind Daniel Mago 1. Noise is P6, 0.4 behind Shane Smith. Peter McKen is second, 0.3 behind Simran Takhar. Niall O'Neill entering the pits is P15. Andy van Lerberg exiting pits. Shane Smith is 5th, 0.5 behind Sky. Noise is P6, 0.4 behind Shane Smith. Simran Takhar is P2, 0.4 behind Peter McKen. Felon Pritchard exiting pits. Simran Takhar passed Peter McKen for P1. Niall O'Neill exiting pits. Peter McKen from Ireland is P2, 0.3 behind Simran Takhar. Brian MCC from Ireland is P3, 0.4 behind Peter McKen. Peter McKen on lap 13 is second, 0.3 ahead of Brian MCC. Brian MCC is P3, 0.4 behind Peter McKen. Peter McKen on lap 13 is second, 0.2 behind Simran Takhar. Brian MCC on lap 14 is P3, 0.5 behind Peter McCann. Peter McCann is P2, 0.4 behind Simran Thakkar. Brian MCC from Ireland is P3, 0.3 behind Peter McCann. Peter McCann is P3, 0.1 behind Brian MCC. Brian MCC is second, 0.4 ahead of Peter McCann. Peter McCann is third, 0.4 behind Brian MCC. Brian MCC from Ireland is second, 0.3 behind Simran Thakkar. Shane Smith is P5. Brian MCC is P2. Shane Smith is 5th, 0.1 behind Sky. Brian MCC is P2, 0.2 behind Simran Thakkar. Shane Smith is 5th, 0.3 behind Sky. Brian MCC is P2, 0.5 behind Simran Thakkar. Shane Smith is P5. Noise is P6 battling Shane Smith. Brian MCC is second, 0.5 behind Simran Thakkar. Shane Smith is 6th, 0.1 behind Noise. Stefan Boot is 14th, 0.4 behind Flea McBaggins. Shane Smith is 6th. Stefan Boot is P14, 0.4 behind Flea McBaggins. Noise is P6, 0.2 behind Shane Smith. Stefan Boot is 14th. Noise is P6, 0.4 behind Shane Smith. Noise passed Shane Smith for 5th. Stefan Boot is 14th, 0.8 behind Flea McBaggins. Noise is 5th, 2.3 behind Scott. Stefan Boot is 14th, 1.1 behind Flea McBaggins. Noise is P5, 1.6 behind Scott. Flea McBaggins is 14th, 0.3 behind Stefan Boot. Noise on lap 19 is P5, 1.9 behind Scott. Flea McBaggins is 14th, 0.9 behind Stefan Boot. Stefan Boot is P14. Stefan Boot passed Flea McBaggins for P13. Noise is P5. Peter McKen on lap 20 is second, 1.4 behind Brian MCC. Stephen Mullen from United Kingdom on lap 20 is P9, 1.0 behind Ian May. Stephen Mullen passed Ian May for 8th. Ian May is 9th, 0.3 behind Stephen Mullen. Noise is 5th, 0.4 behind Sky. Peter McKen is P2, 0.8 behind Brian MCC. Noise is 5th. The leader has just finished the race. Brian MCC finished first. Andy van Lerberg finished P15. Peter McKen finished second. Simran Thakkar finished third. Sky finished fourth. Noise finished P5. Niall O'Neill finished 16th. Shane Smith finished P6. Stefan Boot finished P13. John McDonald finished P7. Stephen Mullen finished 8th. Flea McBaggins finished P14. Felon Pritchard finished P17. Ian May finished 9th. Damian McMullen finished P10. Daniel Maggiore finished 11th. Kit Riesick finished P12.